I think about all the time and why I built this whole pen community, right? And of course, we got, Tracy and I built Playbook Investors Network. And now I wanted to build a pen community where I can house people to really understand, how to gain access to capital, how to get contracts. Because at the end of the day, Mike, it's only two things you're going to have to get as a business. You're either going to have to get access to capital, you're going to have all your processes right, your bank statements right, your P&Ls right, all that kind of stuff. Or you trying to find more contracts so you can continue to grow the business, which is going to make you do what? Two things. Hire more people
Yeah.
or get the equipment. At the end of the day, it's still the same process, right?
Right.
So, Mike, the challenges that you have being a major construction company or a black-owned construction company, what are those challenges you have to gain access to capital?
Great question. I think the first thing you have to do as a company, but especially as a construction company, is know where you are financially. I went through, I had this wild hair, and I always felt and still know that it's a need to have a large African American owned prime contractor here in the state of Texas. And the main reason, when you have kids coming out of Prairie View A&M Southern, to have a vehicle that they can go to where the quote unquote glass ceiling is not there.
Right.
And we got our bonded up to $50 million. But what we didn't have, and instead of me pointing the fingers, I pointed the thumb. I said, where did I make my mistake? I built my organization just like a Turner, a Balfour Beatty, a Beck and Austin. And a very good friend of mine in the business community, I hired a Six Sigma expert, look at systems and processes. And we got hit with a bad job. It was a bad job, bad client, bad situation. And just pondered, where did I make my mistake? Coming from a sports background, I'm looking at the film. He said, oh man, you built your company like the big guys. I said, yeah man, I hired a Six Sigma expert, paid him $5,000 a month. I had the systems and process documented. He says, but you're not.
Right.
I said, what? He said, you're not a big company. He said, those companies have been in business 80 years.
Right.
They have compounded some. They lose $2 million of $50 million. I mean, that's just a blimp.
Right.
He said, you lose $500,000, $1 million. That's real money.
Right.
And I had to hit. So I think where a lot of small companies, including me, we have a mindset on being a big company.
Yep.
But we haven't really thought about the stages and the steps that you have to take to get there.
Right.
So we found my sweet spot as an organization are projects that we're going to manage as a GC, general contractor, up to about 15 to 20 million.
Right.
And we have to take that next step.
Yeah.
That means systems, processes, people, enough dollars over banking relationship. So to answer your question, out of experience, you got to start that banking relationship early. They got to build trust. They got to build trust that when you get that $10,000 loan, even though you may need $100, go get that $10,000 loan. Make sure you pay it back.
Yeah.
Then you go to the $20,000. Next thing you know, in the next 3 years, you'll be up to 50. You'll be up to 50,000. Then you're up to 5 million. That's the way it works. I think a lot of times, small and minority-owned companies, they come in and say, well, this company that they got $1 million line. Won't you give me $1 million line? Have you really looked at your statements? Are you strong enough to get $1 million line? So if you're strong enough to get a $500,000 line, ask for $250. I said, because that's a game in and of itself, because the banks, you got to know they can trust you.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, so we talk about this all the time. All small business need to have their P&Ls, balance sheets, all that stuff right, man, because nobody really wants to give you money just because. Not today.
Right.
Nobody's trying to. But like you say, it goes back to relationships too. So now a lot of these small businesses so busy, man, trying to grow their company and get to the next level. They don't have the opportunity to go get that relationship. They don't know who to talk to, right? So what we're trying to do now is bring it to them. Now since COVID hit, it made people go to the digital platform, the computers, the phone, because now you can actually reach people digitally. But you still got to build a relationship. You got to make sure your company's right and all this other stuff. So they have to see people like you. They have to talk to people like you. They have to get to know what it is that I need to do to get my business to the next level. And they don't really know. So the reason we're trying to do what we're doing in the pen community, Michael, is make it affordable for people to really understand and see something about an expert in every facet, every industry. Because at the end of the day, I tell you this, you talk about this all the time. You need two things. That's capital to either purchase human capital, meaning buy people, or get you equipment. You got a lot of equipment. You got a lot of people, right? If you're just going to do it on the procurement side, I just need a contract so I can scale my business. Still got to hire people. Still got to get the equipment. And a lot of people just don't understand that piece of it, man. Because like you said, I've watched you grow.
Oh,
I came to you and say, Mike.
You remember when I got my first desk?
That's right.
That's a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're still here though.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still trying to help others too. And that's the one thing that I love about myself. That's what I love about you. That's what I love about Tracy and all the other people that we've interfaced with over the years. How do we help everybody else, right? That's what we're trying to do. And I see all the wonderful things you're doing off the court now, because you've been off the court for a long time, but in the community.
Thank you.
You got your foundation that you're trying to do certain things with. Matter of fact, just talk about your foundation too.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity to do it. Talk about, because I get really excited about the Assist for Life Foundation. Me being an ex-NBA point guard, that could go left. I could go left. I'm just letting you guys know I could go left.
We know a lot of guys who could go left.
A lot of guys could go left. They could do a whole bunch of things. But seriously, as I really started digressing and looking at how God has blessed me to be able to go through the pitfalls, I realized being a graduate of Carter High School here in Oak Cliff that a lot of kids from our community does not have aspiration to go to college.
Right.
Not even interested. And when we were in high school and junior high, they had mechanic shop, wood shop. They've taken all that home economics. So they taught you those things.
Right.
So those essential skills have been taken out of the K through 12. And now you have to be exposed to go to a college to go get a trade. And people don't realize that an electrical contractor, an individual, can make $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
So what we do now, any project that we have, we win within our school, which is 60% of our market share. We do K through 12, and we administer and target a higher education. We give a percentage of our fee to the Mike Williams Assist for Life Foundation.
Okay.
I'll send you the video and what we're doing. Right now, we're in partnership with the Dallas Independent School District, DISD, and we're training kids at Wilma Hutchins today in the construction industry.
Yeah.
We're exposing ninth graders, and because we come from a sports background, NBA, we have 15 kids, and the reason why I want to have smaller so we can really pay attention to each one of the students.
Yeah.
And we're training them in the construction industry. So next year we'll take on a new school, which more than likely is going to be Carter High School.
Okay.
And then after 4 years, we'll have four different schools between 60 to 75 students, and that's what we're going to do with DISD.
You know what's really real, Mike, and I'm glad that you expound on that, because the one thing I know that you can replicate that and take that to every other state.
We'd love to do that.
Right. So these are the things that I know you as a leader and also a person who know how to lead. These are the type of things that we have to do, right? And I tell Tracy and I tell all the other guys and all the guys that you play ball with, if we pull a lot of these resources together and really show these kids what they can do, because right now, this is truly an entrepreneurial society.
Oh, yeah. It's becoming more and more.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier a lot of small businesses, because you're in your business. You're the project in construction. You're your project manager, superintendent. You're the estimator. You got to collect your money. Got to collect your money. You got to collect your money. Because you get inundated with all of these other things that you have to do. Have you ever went to Costco, Walmart to go get some soap or go get some cereal? Or to go get some chicken, right? And you walk in there thinking of one thing, but you come out with 7 or 8 things.
Yeah.
That's what Penn gives you. See, Penn gives you that vehicle. Penn is the Walmart, is the Costco. I don't know how many times I've gone to. I went to Home Depot the other night. I went to go over there to get this little soap bar, right?
Yeah.
I walked out of there with 8 different things. But that's what Penn can do. So it helps small businesses, and that's one of the things I've seen. I got chills. Look at that, I got chills going on right now because it is a vehicle that you can go to and look for one thing and find 5 other things. And most small businesses, because we have to do so many different things, because you don't have that senior manager that can make that phone call. But just calling one person over opinion, you say, well, listen, I need information on bonding, I need information on banking, I need information on what software I need to use for my project management. You come to a one-stop shop to go get the information at one place.